Welcome to Physics for Good. I'm Allison Boley, and today I want to talk about wavelength and amplitude. Now, hopefully we've come far enough that you've learned that a lot of these words that we use in physics have real meaning in your everyday life. Today is no exception, and in fact today might be one of your favorites because these words can apply to music. So wavelength, which is represented by this Greek letter lambda, it's like an upside down Y, is the distance of one cycle. So from a crest to the next crest, or from a trough to the next trough, or here where it's in the middle, we call it equilibrium. It's in equilibrium where the wave is coming down to the next time that the wave is in equilibrium coming down. Those distances of one cycle is a wavelength. And then amplitude is the distance from the middle, or the equilibrium point, to either a crest or from the middle to a trough. And so what do those actually mean? Well, the amplitude is related to intensity. It's not exactly intensity, but it's related. And so if, for example, in a sound wave, that would be like volume. So it's related to volume. So if the amplitude is really large, then that's a really loud sound. And if the amplitude is really small, that's a really quiet sound. Wavelength, on the other hand, personally, I like to think of it as related to the identity of the wave. And so, for example, in a sound wave, the identity of a wave is pitch. And so if it's a really long wavelength, that corresponds to a really low pitch. And if it's a really small wavelength, that corresponds to a high pitch. Now, what do you think might be the wavelength of a light wave? Or, using my definition, what identifies a light wave? It's color. So, the wavelength of light being reflected from the blue parts of this painting is different than the wavelength of light being reflected from the orange parts of this painting, and both of those are different than the wavelength of light being reflected from the green parts of this painting. So the wavelength of light is related to color. Returning to a sound wave brings me to Sounds Academy. I caught up with their founder, Kirk Johnson, at their downtown Phoenix location.
Sounds Academy is a non-profit music education organization that teaches, mentors, and provides musical experiences and opportunities for underserved youth. And we do it through three main programs. Our first program is the Musical Access Program, where we expose kids to live music and instruments through our instrument petting zoos. Cool. Then we have our school program that teaches students the fundamentals of musical performance in a group setting. And then we have our solo program where they do one-on-one lessons.
Oh, that's awesome. The best part about this episode for me was that I got a lesson. I'd never played violin before, so I was really excited to learn whatever I could. My left hand never really did get the picture to relax, but Kirk made learning easy, and before long, I was ready to at least attempt playing. Okay.
Your turn. No fingers. No, zero fingers. Your turn.
Yes, I'm very rough. But it wasn't too long before I at least had the basic idea and we were ready to play a song. How fun.
So that's how you play it.
Cool. That's awesome.
So and then we can do duets. So what happens is you play your part and I play my part.
Okay.
All right,
so
let's try that. So I'm going to put two. I'm going to make sure that this is straight at all times. I'm always backing this away from the instrument.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
And then pinky. Good. Here, 1, 2, ready, is.
That's so cool.
So that's how you do that.
It sounds so much better when you're doing it too.
Oh. Yeah, so that's what we do at Sounds Academy. We get to teach students how to play these songs, and then we teach character values through the music. So they're learning how to be, so right now,
Yes.
you were being the leader and I'm following you.
Oh.
So they learn leadership through that. Teamwork, we were playing together.
Right.
So they learn that. So then there were times that you messed up, but you kept
Yes.
going.
Yes.
So they learn resilience through that. And then when you do mess up, you gotta be creative. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna put it down another finger? Am I gonna,
Oh, yeah.
we don't abandon ship. We don't
Right,
do
right,
that.
right. Yeah.
Right? So they learn creativity through that.
Cool.
And then you get this portion where you're trying to do something that's difficult, and they have to learn, go slowly. And then they learn perseverance through that.
Oh, yeah.
You keep on going, you keep on trying, you keep on practicing.
Yeah.
And so that's how we teach those character values through music education.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Because this is Physics for Good, 50% of the ad revenue generated from this episode will go to Sounds Academy.
How else can viewers support your organization other than just watching this video?
Viewers can go to our website, www.soundsacademy.org. They can make contributions through there. They can volunteer. They can even be on our board. So they can find out how to engage with us through our engagement form. So I think it's a matter of engaging, number one,
Right.
and then following us also on our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter, seeing what we're doing so that you can support the kids, support the organization, support the efforts that we're doing in providing music education for kids here in Arizona.
Sure. Awesome. Thanks for watching. If you like what you just saw, please consider subscribing right here and sharing the video with a friend. Also, check out the video description where you'll find a link to the charity you just saw, as well as some affiliate links.